Spatchcock Funk in the house, our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need are the people that you love, and we'll take care of the rest. Spatchcock Funk, dope food, strong drinks, great stories. We throwing it back, y'all. When it's time to turn things up and lift some spirits, sometimes you gotta turn back the clock. There's a special vibe that nostalgia brings out in all of us, that historic energy, that retro feel. Even from a time you might not have been on Earth yet, there's no shame in that game. Some studies show that nostalgia helps our mental health, and we all about anything that helps people get up and stay up. A great way to connect with others is to connect with our past. And that's a great way to throw a party too, baby. Build it around a time in history, the clothes, the music, them drinks, the grub, and of course, the people. So for us, one of our favorite times was the 1990s. High hair, neon colors, hip hop, hard rock, grunge, awesome food, and super rad parties. So it's time to go back in time. Time to run it back. Yo, is this party gonna jump? Definitely yes. This is the Throwback Throwdown. Yo, you wanna have a party celebrating a time period? You need a drink that reps the vibe. So when we were youngins in the 90s, we'd cruise around in our backpacks with those little plastic pouches you'd stick a sharp little straw into, and that's what we're doing here. So we are making the Capri Cold Medina. Went online, got some pouches, put some stickers on it to rep our brand. You should do this for your parties too because it's a lot of fun. So we've got our pouches. Now this drink actually is named after a 1988 song, Funky Cold Medina by our boy Tone Loc. So that song was in the 80s, but it lived in the 90s because the Beastie Boys would make a drink backstage, a version of a Fuzzy Navel they called the Funky Cold Medina. Now the song is fun, but the song implies you gotta get people drunk to have sex. We do not condone or support that at the Funk. You wanna get people naked and have sex? Be funny, show a lot of respect, be cool. That's how it's done. To make this drink, we're gonna batch it because we're gonna pour it out of a pitcher, easier to assemble. Each individual one has around 5 ounces, so we're gonna make 6 drinks in our pitcher. So we're gonna put in around 24 ounces of an orange drink, the type that you can buy off the rack, not refrigerated, you know what I mean? Once we've got that in there, we're gonna put 7.5 ounces of vodka. Then we add in 2.5 ounces of peach schnapps. We're gonna go about 2 ounces of some fresh orange juice. The acidity really brings this drink kind of together and makes it more than just a bunch of booze. Give it a couple stirs. Let's get pouring. Pour some sugar on me and pour this drink in here. So get your pouch nice and open. And the bottom of it will expand as you fill it with liquid. You're gonna go about 3/4 of the way because then it'll open itself up. Now you got it sealed, and you can take this wherever you wanna go. But let's try it too, make sure everything worked out. Get our trusty little straw. You gotta fight for your right to party. The 90s gave rise to handhelds, baby. Gaming devices, phones, all that stuff. So we were gonna make a killer handheld appetizer. We're making cool to the max shrimp. So the first thing though, let's talk about shrimp itself. When you buy shrimp, they have different sizes. These are U16 shrimp. That means it takes under 16 of them to make a pound. That's how they get the size. So sometimes people tell you the size. It's not the size of the shrimp, it's the motion of the ocean, but that's in the bedroom. The size matters in the kitchen. If we were gonna make popcorn shrimp, we'd use U51s, little tiny baby ones. If we're making like a giant grilled shrimp, we'd use U12s, which are super colossals. U16s are jumbo shrimps. They're perfect for handheld things to dip. So what you're gonna get them is raw like this. And then how you really de-shell a shrimp, take a pair of scissors, slide it up and cut most of the shell out. Then take a toothpick or some other tool like that, and you're gonna devein it, which is really kind of scraping out their excrement a little bit, right? Then you chuck that. Then you've got your shell, and it just opens from the back. Grip it by the tail, a little squeeze. Sometimes people like their tail squeezed. Get that, and now you've got the full shrimp. And the reason why we're not leaving the tail on is some people put the tail on dishes. We don't love that because then all of a sudden you've got to take it out and it really just one less thing. So those are our shrimp. Once we've got that done, we're gonna pat them dry with paper towels and leave them. Cool to the max shrimp needs a cool dip. And this dip is a bacon chili remoulade. The key ingredient are bacon bits. Bacon bits, like me, were invented in the 70s, but didn't come to prominence till the 90s. We've got 1 cup of mayonnaise. We add in our 1/4 cup of bacon bits. Then we're gonna add in 3 tablespoons of a good Greek yogurt. Next, 2½ teaspoons of Dijon mustard. We add in 1 tablespoon of green chilies out of a can that we've drained and chopped up. 2 cloves of minced garlic. A teaspoon of smoked paprika. 1 teaspoon of chopped up fresh rosemary, and 2 teaspoons of chopped up fresh thyme. Mix this all together until you don't see any more of the dry parts. Then we just refrigerate it until we're ready to dip. Here comes the cool part, making the cool to the max shrimp themselves. So we've got our raw shrimp. We're gonna take some pepper and hit each side a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, a little bit of granulated garlic. Then we're gonna flip them and hit the other side. The killer ingredient here are tortilla chips, ranch style tortilla chips. You know the types we get. We got a bag of those, crushed them up. This becomes the crunchy, delicious, beautiful coating for it. So crush those up, then take 3 eggs with a dash of salt and pepper and mix that up, and a thing of flour. Take our shrimp and our about 2 cups of flour, as much as you need, put it in there. Coat it evenly, even along the back. Drop into our eggs mixture. Get both sides with the eggs on it. And kind of get up the bottom of it too. Shake off the excess. Then into the chips. Then we're gonna fry these at 350 degrees for about 3-4 minutes. Super cool, cool to the max shrimp. We've taken them out of the fryer, hit it with a little salt, and then we're gonna take some ranch, salad, dry seasoning, you can get right in the salad dressing section, and lightly hit it a little bit with that. Then we like to take some fresh lime juice, a little bit over the top, take one of these beauties, dip it into our remoulade. Cool to the max. We just hopped out of the DeLorean because we're back in time. Some vintage shopping because we're gonna throw this party all the way back.
Rewind. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Rewind.
Hello, welcome to Just Rose Vintage. Any questions or concerns, please ask me.
Oh, you're the guy in charge. Awesome.
That's my little helper.
So we're throwing this 90s party.
Okay.
And everyone's got to wear not like a Halloween costume, but like vintage garb.
Yeah, we
this a
definitely
vintage store?
special. Oh yeah, man, this is the place to be. We specialize in 80s and 90s, early 2000s pop culture, everything from old music, movies, sports,
awesome.
a little bit of everything.
It's
Your
incredible.
graphic tees, your windbreakers, if you want to fight the wind,
Dude.
jerseys, we got it all.
Where do you get all this incredible stuff, bro?
Dude, I'm
it's
rocking
all
the Oprah shirt.
Oprah. You get a shirt, you get a shirt. It's all hand curated from local thrift stores, estate sales, garage sales, different countries from all over the world. I actually have a guy in Albania who goes through
way,
it for me,
dude.
and I get boxes from him.
Do you have like people in
That's
their
crazy.
90s that pass away and they're rocking old like Beavis and Butthead shirts?
yeah,
You're like, I didn't
that's
know
the
Grandpa
best
had
part.
this,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't know Grandpa had this.
They're bidding on engagement
you
rings.
want
He's like, I
all
want the
of
Beavis
that,
Butthead thing.
Dude, I got 2 options here.
The crab Cheezosaurus Rex,
Cheezosaurus
guy.
Rex.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Which is awesome.
That's super cool.
Which I might buy just to wear.
But this
Spring
one,
break.
man,
Oh, that's it right
you
there.
can
Retro.
Look at the font. Look at the
Yeah, I love
color.
it.
It's a single stitch T-shirt. You know, everything was made differently. It was made better.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
better quality.
It's got a little Spatchcock vibe.
Pops.
Definitely
I
has
love it.
Spatchcock vibes.
I love it.
Awesome.
All right, I'm looking for something like rock and roll-ish. Like, I prefer black T-shirt.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like faded, nice.
Faded,
you know,
yeah, like
all
someone
up,
partied this thing.
distressed,
Yeah,
Small
yeah.
sleeves.
Some hard
Small
rock,
sleeves.
small sleeves
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
big biceps.
that's right,
I got
that's the
you. I
plan.
got you.
Or at least we got to
What
take
about
him in.
Axl Rose,
Yo, use your illusion tour, dude.
Sheesh, GNR,
Oh,
baby.
man, yes.
don't
that is
like
what's
Axl
at.
Rose, do you?
I love Axl Rose.
See the fade on
You got
that?
the
Yes,
beautiful.
USA pants to go
Yeah,
with
do the
it?
shorts too.
You need some Vanilla Ice vibes going on here, man.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, I
man.
do
Let's
too.
do it.
All right, let's do
Bring it up.
The main course tonight is video rental pizza. Something everybody can have a slice of, be free to do their things, play their games, party, dance. It's awesome. And you know this type of pizza, man. Remember renting video games? Videos from the store, coming home, sliding that in, just having a night. Well, you also go to that place with the red and white checkered tablecloths. They made those pizzas just for you. About this big, that perfect pan crust. That's what we're doing. We are gonna make that type of pizza today. It's easy to do at home, and it's just straight awesome. So let's rent some pizzas out. We're about to make things live because we got a live ingredient here. We're gonna take first 1 1/3 cup of warm water, at least 120 degrees. And we're gonna add in 1/4 cup of non-fat dry milk, a tablespoon of granulated sugar, 1 package of rapid yeast. We'll whisk that up. So we're gonna let this rest for about 5, 6, 7, maybe as many as 10 minutes till you start to see a bunch of little bubbles in it. That means the yeast is getting active in here. So set that aside. We're gonna start making this dough and we're gonna make it right. You can do this on your own with mixing bowls and on a floured surface, but we're gonna use a trusty mixer here. So we've got 4 cups of all-purpose flour. We've got a whisk attachment in here, so we're gonna mix that with 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then we're gonna mix this really evenly. Got this mixed up. We're gonna throw in our trusty dough hook. So we're gonna take our now risen yeast mixture, pour it in, and we're gonna let this thing go for about 10 minutes. Our dough is just how we want it to be. So we're gonna take it, roll it into a ball, and this is enough dough for 3 pizzas. So we're gonna have 3 pizzas, cut them up into 4 slices, you can have a party. So take this big ball of dough, cut it into thirds. We've got a 3 by 8 inch cake pan. This is critical to getting that super beautiful crust. Equally as critical is getting the buttery, greasy goodness that comes into this awesome crust. So we took 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening. You could use lard too if you're really feeling aggressive. And 1/4 cup of ghee, which is clarified butter. We're gonna take this, after we mix it up, with our hands and really get our hands into it, and we are gonna generously coat the entire pan. Like you wanna see it on there. Take your beautiful cake pan, set it aside. Now, you can do one of 2 things. You can take this ball of dough, set it in here, put a towel over it, and let it proof for an hour and a half, or, wanna save some time, you can turn it into your crust itself right now. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna flatten it out, keep rolling it until we get it to the size, a little bit bigger than the bottom of the pan. Try to center it and push up the crust, the dough rather, so it forms into the crust, up the sides as much as you can. Now cover it with a towel and let it sit out in a warm place somewhere in the room for an hour and a half under a towel. We've got this beautifully risen dough ready to go. We're gonna take it one more time with our hand and flatten it out and press up against the sides, and you're gonna see that it's starting to get closer to the top, just how that dough should look to make our beautiful crust. It's time to start topping this pizza. And you know, our boy Leonardo, his brother Michelangelo, they'd be pumped about this pizza. We've got our sauce, and we're gonna put in maybe as much as 1/3 to 1/2 of a cup of this chunky sauce in there. Spread that around the bottom. Now, we took 4 cups of mozzarella cheese, 1 cup of shredded Asiago, and 1 cup of shredded Parm, and mix them all together, and that becomes our cheese mix. So we're gonna just really get this in there, go at least 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. Now we're gonna take some dried Italian seasoning and just sprinkle it over the top. Now this beauty is ready to slide into the oven. It's gonna go in there for 14 minutes till the crust is golden brown. Keep an eye on it, but that's what we're looking at. The cheese bubbly, 14 minutes. We've taken out of the oven after 14 minutes and it's looking beautiful, but we wanna go one more step. You can mix either a couple tablespoons of melted butter or olive oil and minced garlic, and we're gonna brush the crust with that mixture and put it back in the oven for a minute or 2. Yo, rent to own, this pizza's ready to go. We're gonna cut it into 4 slices. Let's get a bite of this. Great pizza. Cowabunga, dude. All right, for a banger 90s party, you need a super sweet treat that also doubles as a nice little snack, and that's gotta be a slam dunk. So these are the Alley Oops. Fun little tiny sugar cookies that we're gonna dip in a beautiful frosting. You know the type. When you were at school, lunchtime, your mom packed them in a bag for you, maybe late night at home, got the munchies. Either way, we're gonna make this thing jump. We're gonna take 1 stick of room temperature softened, unsalted butter and put it into our mixer. We're gonna take 3/4 of a cup of granulated white sugar and put it in there. Then we're gonna put it on low, raise it up, and beat it until it's a good creamy mixture. Once we've got this mixture all creamy and good, we're gonna add in 1 large egg, and then 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/2 teaspoon of lemon extract. Then we're gonna mix it again for another minute. This is all mixed up, our wet part, so now it's time for the dry ingredients. We're gonna take 3/4 of a cup of cake flour into a bowl, a full cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and then we're also gonna throw in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna evenly mix that up. We're just gonna add it to the wet ingredients. Now, we're gonna put it on low for 1 minute and then high for 1 minute. We got our dough out of the mixer, piece of parchment paper on a cookie sheet. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're gonna take a little tiny ball of this, about the size of a chickpea, and you're gonna roll them out into these balls and put them onto your parchment paper. Then you're gonna squish them down with your fingertip till it gets about the size of a quarter. These aren't gonna spread out very, very far, so they're not gonna really take up a lot of space after they grow out, after they cook up and heat up. So we're gonna lay them all across about 5 or 6 in a row, all the way down. We have our cookie sheet ready. Now it goes in the oven for 8 minutes. Now it's time to make the frosting. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take 2 sticks of room temperature unsalted butter and put it into our mixer. Now we're gonna beat that until it gets creamy. So raise up, put it on low. While it's mixing, we're gonna add in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. It's gonna go in there. It's gonna be a right balance of salt to the fattiness of the butter. When you're building something, you gotta take care with it. The 90s, I mean, we're still alive because someone built us with care. So we're gonna now add in 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, that good powdered sugar. We're only gonna add it in about a half cup at a time. Once we see 1 half cup is evenly mixed in, we'll add to the next half cup till we've got it all in there. We've got this buttery, sugary mixture going on. It's almost a frosting, but we're not quite there yet. We're gonna put some heavy cream in it. So we've got 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. We're gonna mix it on low, and we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon at a time, slowly. We've got the cream mixed in thoroughly. We're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now we're gonna turn it up and mix it much faster for about 30 seconds. Now our frosting is looking great, but we wanna make it look even better. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of rainbow sprinkles. It takes us back to the day where we saw those in our little lunch packs, but also all the cool sports jerseys at the time. In the pro basketball leagues, baseball leagues, all that stuff, we're wearing these wild, crazy colors. So we're gonna mix that in and really get this thing going. We got this rainbow frosting ready to take on some dunk action. So, the alley-oops. It is one of these beautiful little cookies in this frosting. Bring back the 90s in waves. Yo, let's talk about some 90s memories, all right? I think about one that always comes to my mind. I was a young and a teenager, like 12, 13. I got my first big boy BMX bike. So there was a house being built in a neighborhood that, of course, we weren't allowed to go to. So we went, and I took
3 wheels or 2 wheels?
2 wheels. Okay. I took the training wheels were off. Wheels were off it. So I pumped my legs, got up this big hill that go down this huge jump, went up, and I flipped in the air and landed directly on my head and easily got a concussion. And you're not telling your parents about that. So here I am.
First of many.
First of many what?
Concussions.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
That's a weak way to get a concussion.
A weak way to get it? I mean, dude, I flipped a bike landed on my head.
Back in the day, I would hit a cookie sheet to the head in backyard wrestling.
What?
Multiple times. Took my mom's cookie sheets out of her cabinet.
Multiple times.
We'd go back and they'd make like really loud sounds, but they wouldn't hurt. So we'd hit each other in the head with it, and I would stick
So then
them
I
back.
don't think that's concussion
I was just gonna say.
Well,
if it didn't hurt.
No, no.
Yeah.
It got there. Yeah, no, it felt like you just
But after 30 of them, it was a concussion.
And then I would stick them back in the cabinet, and my mom would take them out, and they'd be completely dented.
She'd go to make her.
Why is your little kid's head shape on the top of this cookie sheet?
No,
I
it'd
am
be
like,
like,
make her What is this?
But that's cool too. That's a cool story too.
Okay, all right. How about you?
It's pretty crazy. I miss the 90s, man. I was a party animal in the 90s. I remember one of my first parties in the 90s. I was just throwing them back, having a great time, and then next thing I know, wake up in the kitchen, I wet myself. Kevin's 5th birthday party was crazy.
Sometimes you gotta take a few steps backwards to take a big leap forward. Throwing together a fresh new remix on an earlier time can help you bust out of a rut, get your mind right, and get your groove on too, baby. So y'all, we're busting out some old school memories to make some new ones, and we're making them count. To keep our mental health and our brains nice and spry, sometimes a stroll down memory lane can really get your heart running, get them wheels upstairs turning, get that ticker pumping, and that bass bumping. So shave those lines on your dome, fire up the vintage games and the vintage gear, and get in the mix like that fire mixtape you made for your crush back in the day. Yo, hold up. Yo, think of my jams and the 1s and 2s. Spatchcock out.
They